Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories. As always, I'm your host Chris Jack, doing something a little different out here in the room today. A couple of you guys have DM'd me asking to do top 10 list, full collection videos, etc, etc. And just for the record, I have done a full collection video. It is over on the sneakerstories.tv Instagram page in the IGTV section. It is, albeit over a year and a bit ago, but it's still pretty cool to look at. And when I find enough time to do another full collection video, I'll certainly do that right here on the YouTube channel. But today I'm going to show you guys my full Ultraboost collection. Obviously just done a review of this beautiful DNA pack here, the Chinese New Year white edition. This particular pair is absolutely awesome. It doesn't belong to me, unfortunately, at least yet. And then obviously there was another pair as well, which is the Star Wars SNL version, which has released here, and I'm definitely going to pick a pair up of these myself because these are incredibly slept on in my opinion. So I'm going to exclude these ones from the list, at least, of my personal collection of Ultraboost today. And in no particular order, I'm going to get going right here with the Reigning Champ 1.0. This particular pair is a pair that I've worn a hell of a lot. It's just very, very easy to wear. The colorway of it is really, really simple and stripped back. The knit on it is incredibly soft as well. I would highly recommend getting this pair. The prices I don't think are too bad on this particular one. We have seen a decrease in Boost prices sort of just overall since the hype has died down a little bit, but this one here is just so easy to wear with anything, and it's a real winner for the collection. Next up are the Ultraboost 20. So these are both the Space Station or International Space Station collaborations, which released just at the end of the last year in December. I have done a review on the Ultraboost 20 Space Station, this one in particular, and you can find that on the review channel if you want to know more about these. But overall, the Ultraboost 20 is a massive step in the right direction for Ultraboost for me, just in terms of its aesthetic. Its comfortability is incredible on foot, and hey, you've got iridescent boost on this, which is just a vibe. Next up is the Ultraboost Gold Medal from the medal pack, the last Olympic Games. It's quite awesome. We are in another Olympic year, and this time happening in Japan. So keep an eye out for a whole bunch of other Olympic-inspired releases to come from all the brands. In fact, here's a first official leak of an all-gold Ultraboost 20, which I suspect might just be another medal pack because there are rumors of a silver version of that coming as well, set to drop in June 2020, right in time for the Olympic Games. But this particular pair is one of my all-time favorites. I'll never let go of this. It's actually the third pair I've had of this particular one because I have beat the hell out of them. They are so comfortable, and that's mostly got to do with this awesome 2.0 really soft knit, but most importantly the genuine leather cage on here, which really softens up on foot. It just is such a comfortable shoe. I don't know what makes it just so different from the rest of them, but it's just that extra little bit of comfort on here. So these are in the collection for life. Now these aren't exactly an Ultraboost, but I kind of consider them in the Ultraboost family. It's the AM4 made for London Speed Factories. I mean, it's pretty much an Ultraboost. It's like a lightweight version with some other little technical differences in it. Sorry, there's a light flashing in my eye. I think my light's about to blow. So if anything happens here, it's been real. The shoe itself has got awesome fused overlays on here with different colorways. I just really love the color of this particular pair. I think Adidas went a little bit off the plot with this particular project. We've seen some really disgusting colorways, and just like, why would you even make that kind of thing? But this one over here, and the made for Germany's, and maybe some of the other ones as well, were really awesome. So yeah, had to get a pair of these for the collection. Next up, the Ultraboost 19. This pissed a lot of people off. I just really didn't like this shoe at all. But from a performance attribute side, it really was a benefit and a step in the right direction in terms of the innovation of the Ultraboost. I really like this one. I thought the colorway is cool. As you guys can probably tell by now, I like black and white on a shoe quite a lot. But these were really comfortable, and I've done a lot of running in this pair myself. Managed to scoop up these early. This was the first Climacool Ultraboost that we got here in South Africa. It was around the time of a Two Oceans marathon here, which happens here in Cape Town. It's quite a big marathon, and during the expo of that, they put these out early. I managed to scoop a pair and do my first early review. I think it was my first early review here on Sneaker Stories. But yeah, these are really awesome, lightweight, and this was the first Ultraboost that could match the level of comfort of that gold medal right here. So if you want something that's super lightweight and breathable, these are your guys. Next up, one of my favorite pairs from the Consortium range. These days were just so insane with all these awesome Consortium Ultraboost collaborations dropping a lot, which we'll get through today. These are just on another level. I had to bring these ones in from Germany. I never managed to get them in locally here, unfortunately, but just the details and materials on this particular collab are so awesome, and the colorway is super dope. Then next up is the SNS and Social Status collaboration on that consortium exchange tour. These was an instant colorway that I really loved, as you guys can tell. Kind of similar to that Raining Chap. The materials on here are super awesome. This cage has got this awesome suede feel to it, and then you've got fused overlays here in the toe box section, and quite a different mismatch of the primate on the shoe. Where's the other one? Just to show you them together like that. It was really nice. I haven't really worn them as much as I'd like to. To be honest, it's definitely something that I'm keeping in the collection because I know that there are some definite wearable occasions for this particular pair. And following on from that, these were actually the original samples of that particular collaboration between Sneakers and Stuff and Social Status. The shoe was so good in the sample phase that they decided to just release it anyway, just under the consortium name, not to add any favoritism to the one particular consortium retailer in giving them two pairs at different times. So it was really nice to see this pair come. It is definitely one of the best colorways I've seen on an Ultraboost itself. And then next up, one of my all-time grails in the Ultraboost range. This is the original Sneakers and Stuff 1.0 Tea Times, which were part of that original collaboration when the hype was at its highest level on this particular pair. A whole bunch of golf themes running around with this particular one. The colorway you can't beat. This goes with everything. It's definitely one of my favorite. It took me a hell of a long time to land them. Eventually only picking them up last year thanks to a guy up in Joburg who was getting rid of his collection, and they were still DS. Continuing on from that awesome era, the hype beast. These were definitely the ultra grails and definitely fetched the most amount of money on the resale market. I managed to do a really awesome trade with another collector, Pistol Pete, up in Johannesburg, who was after some wave runners, and I think there was something else involved in that trade as well. But I originally saw this pair. They were way out of my budget when I really wanted to get them, and I just had to basically take the L on it and just accept that I would never get them. But never say never, because I eventually got them. This pair is so awesome on foot. It's definitely the pair that I've worn the most by far. It's just too clean on foot not to wear just with everything. In fact, it's one of the pairs that I would definitely consider taking a double up on, really no matter what the price is. Last but not least, this was also the first pair that included an RFID chip in the tongue tag over here where the logo is. So you can basically scan that with your phone and it would take you to an authenticity page registering the shoes themselves. Now, I don't really have to say too much about the Kif Mid Aspen over here. This is definitely a shoe that I went to the greatest of lengths to get. Shout out to my man Dan. This was like a 6-month process of negotiation to get this shoe, and it seems crazy for me to say that right now because I can obviously pick them up quite easily, and in fact I've actually had 3 pairs of this particular pair in my collection already. You just can't beat it, and because I love the shoe so much, I'd seen the friends and family ones as well, and it kind of became my mission to be able to complete that entire pack from the Aspen one, of which I did. So next up, there you have them, the friends and family. This is one of my all-time grails. I've never worked harder for a pair of shoes to be able to get these in the collection. Can't say where I got them from or who they're from, but yeah, it took me well over a year to be able to land these in the collection. But literally, these were my desktop background and still are actually of this particular pair. Ronnie Feig absolutely killed it on this. They are so good. I still can't even actually believe I have them. And then the next collection they did was this particular one, which was a more ATR version and all blacked out. It had a whole bunch of 3M detailing throughout the prime knit upper. Also just an incredible shoe to have. I haven't actually worn this pair yet now that I think of it. It's more of a winter shoe obviously, so maybe I'll finally break them out this coming winter. But yeah, a really beautiful pair. And then of course the friends and family version of that as well. So just kind of completing that entire pack from Ronnie Feig and Kif's Mid Ultraboost. Continuing on with the mids, this is definitely one of the cleanest shoes out there and was majorly slept on in my opinion. They didn't really go for too much over retail, although I did have to pay resale for this particular pair. It was a pair that I had to have in the collection. Some awesome details on here, including a little French flag inside of the shoe and nice suede detailing over it. But overall, just super clean on foot, and I'm a massive mid fan, so these had to be in the collection. Now, another pair from that consortium crazy phase was the Soulbox edition, the uncaged version. Now, this was just completely love at first sight. I've owned 3 pairs of these now. I just will never stop loving the shoe. It's just so good. And this particular pair was actually bought in from a guy in the States. I can't even remember his name now, but we did a multi-pair trade together, and that was back in the days where you didn't really have like StockX's and things like that, so there was no real way to like kind of authenticate, and you just had to hope and pray that you were going to get what was actually in the photos. But all in all, it was really awesome, and shout out to my man Bryn for flying these back for me. He had to mule these things in all the way from the States here to Cape Town. The cream chalks, these have just been grails for so many people for so long, until the restock, of course, where they eventually ended up sitting on shelves. This is from the original drop. I did have 2 pairs of these. You can't have enough of the shoe. It's just too damn good on foot. The colorway is just beautiful, the quality is beautiful, and of course it's a 1.0. Now, something reasonably fresh from just last year, the Nice Kicks Ultra Boost is obviously released in a black version as well just recently. For me, I'm not really too big on black boost, so this is definitely my favorite out of them all. It's got a beautiful tie-dye feature here in the upper of it and a semi-translucent cage on it with some nice Kicks detailing, paying homage to the Woodstock Festival itself. This particular pair is not too easy to wear. Obviously, it's quite loud on foot. I actually bought this tie-dye t-shirt over here from Stadium Goods in the hope that they would tie up quite nicely, no pun intended, but they don't. It just, I don't know, it doesn't look good on me. But the shoes by themselves are actually just really awesome. It's very great for summer as well. So if you can rock this kind of thing, then these are definitely them. I don't think the prices are too far over retail right now on this particular pair. Next up, another consortium grail. It is the Woodward. The lacing system on this was also completely new for Ultra Boost. They are super comfortable on foot and have a whole bunch of awesome coloring details on the back. The other shoes actually got the red version of that on the back, and then on the inserts on the medial sides of the shoes. Very awesome pair, and again, you just can't go wrong with black and white and this kind of configuration on the shoe. It might be similar to what you got on the Hype Beast, etc., but they're just not. They're completely different in hand and on foot. This is a pair that I absolutely love. It's the Kinfolk Ultra Boost, and it kind of was a little bit of a revival for Ultra Boost and consortium collaborations. I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been the end of 2018. Can't actually remember when they released, but I knew that I had to get it. But this particular colorway is a beautiful mix of navy and pink. You got a whole bunch of different laces with it as well. The suedes over here in the heel cap, which is done in a dual layer there, are really awesome as well. Just overall a really high quality pair of shoes, and stoked that it's an Ultra Boost. Something a little different, but I had to get these because it followed the same Aspen knit as my whole sort of obsession with Ronnie Fieg's Aspen pack. These are the A16s, if I'm not mistaken, but also Ultra Boost here. They do have the midsole and heel cage as an Ultra Boost, but obviously you got that sock-like construction. This was actually done for the American soccer team, if I'm not mistaken, although they didn't go to the World Cup. Kif still did a whole collection with them over that time as well. Overall, very comfortable, and they look pretty awesome on foot. Just something completely different for me. Next is the Eddie Kwang Ultra Boost. Now, this is a shoe that I've actually reviewed 3 times and I've had technical failures on it each time, which has absolutely killed me. And it's a really in-depth review. The story runs really deep. The details on here, the colorway, everything about the shoe is absolutely incredible. In my opinion, it's one of the most slept on Ultra Boosts of all time. So really stoked to have this one in the collection, and hopefully I can gather the energy to do this review properly one day. But in the meantime, I'm just going to continue enjoying them. Let me know in the comments actually if you really want to see a review of this, because it would really suck to make this whole review for the 5th time or whatever it is now, and nobody watches it. So let me know if you want to see that in the comments below. Easily one of my top pickups for 2019. This here is the Show Me the Money Career exclusive Ultra Boost 1.0. They are incredibly dirty right now because I had them on foot at Seoul DXB in Dubai in the desert, and guess what? It rained. So yeah, that's why they're pretty dirty right now. They are far overdue for a clean. The details on this are just incredible. I mean, have you ever seen a more beautiful Ultra Boost? This is probably right up there with the top Ultra Boost of all time for me. Then also kind of a revival for Ultra Boost. These were the kind of guys. Also an uncaged version with an entirely new lacing system on it. Definitely needed to get these in the collection. They also released a navy version of these, which was a kind of guys exclusive pair, which came with a really nice bag, but I didn't manage to get those. We obviously couldn't get them here in South Africa, and I just, you know, I'm kind of happy with these. I don't really need the navy version of that. It's got some really awesome toweling inside of the shoe as well, if you guys can see that. Overall, just a completely different one with a crazy outsole as well. The Rainbow Toe 2.0, this is definitely one of my favorite shoes. I really love the colorway of the knit here and just that highlighting with the red heel cap on it. I've worn these pretty much to death. Like, they are very worn. But I'll always keep these. This was a very awesome favor done to me by one of the guys in the Boost Mafia group on Facebook, which doesn't really exist anymore. But yeah, he managed to pick these up and basically proxy them because they didn't release locally here in South Africa. Now, I've had multiple triple black Ultra Boost over the years, the 1.0s, all of them. I've had literally every single pair, but this is the only one that I have kept, and this is the Haven collaboration. And the reason for that is A, it's uncaged, and B, the materials are just absolutely unmatchable in this. So I kind of thought to myself, if I'm going to have a triple black Ultra Boost, which most of them in this particular phase all look the same, then you might as well have the best one out of the lot. So that's the only reason I have this triple black version. It is just, it's really second to none on materials and a highly slept on pair. Now, one of my favorite Ultra Boost of all time is actually this women's naked collaboration with it. It was also part of that consortium tour all the way back then. We didn't get bigger sizes, but in the States you could get up to around a UK 9 or UK 9.5 in women's sizing as well. So this was part of that deal that I did where I got the sole box and this particular pair as well. The materials on here, the colorway are just so good. I cannot tell you how much I love this shoe. It's definitely a great shoe to wear for summer. In fact, I'm putting these on right now after this video. Alright, so that's pretty much it for my entire Ultra Boost collection as it stands right now. I do have one more pair though, if those of you are still watching, which is a pair that I've kind of been hiding for a while, just because I really want to do something special with this pair, and I'm busy working on that right now, and they're incredibly rare. So I'm just going to show you just a little snippet of the greatest Ultra Boost of all time. And this is a shoe that I have spent over 3 years trying to get in my collection. So I'm still having like proper geek moments over this particular pair. It's just unbelievable that A, I have them, and B, that they actually exist. I will do a massive review over this particular pair because the story of this really runs deep. But essentially, this is really the shoe that changed production as we know it in footwear forever. But yeah, thought I'd just show it to you now anyway. I hope you guys enjoy. If you don't know what it is the Parley for the Oceans Ultra Boost, limited to just 50 pairs in the world. You could never buy this pair either. So yeah, they're incredibly rare and are pretty much all-time grails for me. So really stoked to be able to have this pair, and I hope you guys are as excited about these as I am and for the content to come around them. But that's pretty much it for this collection video of my entire Ultra Boost collection as it stands to date. There's obviously a lot that I have reviewed and have had in the past that I haven't shown in this video, but that's purely just because I got to keep things moving here to keep things coming in, if you know what I mean. But thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you do want to see more collection videos like this, please hit the thumbs up right there and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button right here for more future content like this down the line. But that's it from me. I'll catch you on the next one. And literally, this was the desktop. This was literally, but literally, these were my desktop screensaver. But literally, these were my desktop. But literally, these were my desktop screensaver. Next up, these SNS and social status. Was it social status? Let's quickly Google that. Fuck. Cat fucking everywhere. The suedes here on the suedes in this jewel layer. 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 Heel cap over here. The suedes in this jewel layer. The suedes in this jewel layer. Fuck me. Can't even say it.